Hello there, my name is Maeve, and welcome to Pixie Cove. This is a pretty new Animal Crossing series that I've started to do, so if you didn't see the first episode, I definitely recommend watching it, as we are picking off from where we were last time. I'm going to start off today with just a little bit of picnic basket putting down and some material gathering before we head over to the museum, or the tent of the museum anyway. On the way, I saw Hazel trying to catch this butterfly, so I thought that I would turn around and try and snatch it on her. And then we did this kind of weird walk together, and she gave up. I, I got it. I didn't need it, but I got it. After that, I went in and gave Blathers a bunch of fossils to assess, and good news, they were all new and not already a part of the collection, which wasn't surprising because there weren't many I'd already submitted. After that, I did some fishing. We caught a carp. That was nothing special. And then I went ahead and I crafted a bunch of axes so that I could go ahead and chop some trees down afterwards. This is me making lots and lots of axes. All right, maybe we can speed this up. And then I took some stuff out of my inventory to free up a little bit of room. After that, I headed over to Nook's Cranny, or, well, not Nook's Cranny. I headed over to Timmy and I sold the tiger butterfly from earlier, which didn't get me much, but got me something. I did some shopping. I don't remember what the candy does, but it is October, so I decided to buy one. And then I also bought some pumpkin starts because farming is going to be a great way to make money in this series. I went ahead and planted them outside of the plaza. I headed over to the airport because I had a Nook Miles ticket from Tom Nook, so I could go to an island to get some extra materials, particularly wood, so that I can build Nook's Cranny. The island I landed on was a pretty simple island. I think this is nicknamed the Fidget Spinner Island because of the three pond sort of looking lake. It looks kind of like a fidget spinner. Anyway, I got straight to collecting some wood. I also got some clay, some iron, some stone, and that's me missing horribly. I just, as anyone does, stripped the island of all of its resources, and then my net broke, and then I saw meringue, and oh my goodness, I can't even tell you how excited I was. I love her so much. I have a list of people that I want to move to my island that I think match the fairy core theme, and she is one of them. So when she said that she would move to our island, I ran around like a maniac and I was so excited. I couldn't believe it. I crafted another net because I saw a ladybug, and then I went ahead and I caught that ladybug just to celebrate the moment. Easy. Okay, so after that, I decided to go for a bit of a swim because I still had a lot of inventory room and I'd already destroyed the island of its resources. I caught a sea cucumber, and then after that, I caught a squid. I caught another sea cucumber, and I also caught a sea pineapple before I realized I could do this on my island, and I decided to leave, talk to Louis. He had nothing important to say. Now that I've done some deep sea diving, I headed over to Blathers to donate what I could, and we got enough specimens to open the museum, so that'll be up in a day or two, which is really good. Then I went ahead and I claimed some of my Nook Miles for doing that, as you can see. And then afterwards, I headed over to residential services to sell some coconuts and a couple other things I couldn't donate. And now that we've invited Meringue to our island, I want to get that up and going pretty soon. So I've gone around and collected a lot of resources, and now I'm just doing a bit of weeding so we can get a couple more bells. And then I got stung by some wasps, which was unfortunate. But I continued to gather some more wood anyway, and then I hit another beehive, and some more wasps came after me. But I decided to call rescue services so that I wouldn't get stung again. They teleported me back to the plaza, and then I went to my things and I did a little bit of organizing, gathered some stuff. I saw this slingshot present thing, and I tried to shoot it down successfully, and I got a protein shaker bottle, which was not something I was that interested in. So I went into residential services and I got rid of it. And then after that, I just threw a couple of my things down. Hazel gave me some medicine for my ugly, ugly face. I crafted a couple more tools because I broke my fishing rod earlier as well. And then I turned lots of my weeds into leaf umbrellas because they sell for more money than just regular weeds. And then after that, I went to the ABD. I put in lots and lots of money and I to put a decent dent in my money that I owe Tom Nook. I bought a tool ring so that I could get my tools out easier, which was going to be very helpful for life on the island. I went and redeemed some Nook miles before heading back to my tent and favoriting some of those items that I would be using a lot. Did some fishing, caught this fish, nothing special, but I didn't already have it. And then I slingshotted another balloon, and it gave me a DIY recipe for a scarecrow, which is right there, which I thought might be cool to put into a future pumpkin field if we can get our pumpkins going. I apologize for the next couple clips. They're going to be a bit shaky because this is just me late at night not being able to resist playing some Animal Crossing. I put down the shop and then I upgraded my house. I finished paying off my loan, so I'm going to have a red roof now instead of a blue roof, and the room will be a bit bigger, which is good. I redeemed some Nook Miles so that we can go out and get some more resources because I still needed a lot. And I went and saw Louis, but he wasn't doing anything interesting, so I left immediately. I sold some stuff to Timmy, and then I made some more leaf umbrellas with the weeds that I'd gotten from the island. After I did that, I went back to Timmy and I sold all of those items. It was quite late at night, so Tommy's just sitting on the pillow in the back. As you can see, the tent was being upgraded, but I wanted it to look pretty before it was done. So this is me making a bit of a path called brick to lay down, and I laid it down before so that by the time it comes out, it looks nice and good. And I know that this won't make her want to move out anymore, but I just wanted to make her angry because I don't like Hazel. I really don't. And then after that, I built a bridge going to Nook's Cranny, as you can see, and Tom Nook also told me he wants me to build 3 more homes, which I was very excited about because it means we can get meringue in here. So I built that bridge and I put it in front of Nook's Cranny, so we had a nice walkway to the shop. As you can see, that's all up and running now because this is the next day. And no, I am not time traveling. I just filmed this video over multiple days to really get the interesting stuff. I actually missed what just happened there because I was talking, but I'm pretty sure it was me putting down the first home plot, and then I saw this like bells hole thing, so I put the bells back in the hole, so in a couple of days we have more bells. I went to the museum and I spoke to Blathers. I'm sorry that this is a little bit blurry. I think it might be because um you can see my LEDs. But anyway, I sold the rest of the creatures Blathers didn't want, and then now that I've got a ladder, I headed up to Red's ship, but it wouldn't let me in. So I spent ages looking for Red, sorry, along the beach, and I found him eventually. And he immediately adopted me as one of his own and let me aboard his ship. But he did leave me on the beach alone. So on my way back, I saw that the house had been sold. to not Meringue, to somebody called Boomer. And I didn't actually show a clip of me being mad because I don't have reactions yet, but I was very mad. I was very mad. I love Meringue. And now I have someone called Boomer, and I don't even know who he is. So I put down a second plot. I don't know if Meringue will be able to move in, if that was just like something, I don't really know. But I picked some flowers because one of the things I had to make for the new house was a mum wreath. And then I talked to Louis once again. I don't know why I keep doing this. He never has anything interesting to say. So I made that mum wreath for the new house and I put all of the things that are required for the interior in the box. Then I went back to my crafting area and I crafted all the things that are required from the outside. I've really shot down a lot of presents today, but this time it was 5,000 bells, which I was pretty impressed with. I put them over there, but I put the table a bit further away so that somebody wouldn't move in immediately. And then I went to the little machiney thing and I bought 2 Nook Miles tickets. I dumped my pockets and I headed back to the airport with my controller disconnected for some reason. And then I headed to an island. Once again, it was a pretty basic island, but there was this girl on the island, and I thought that she was pretty cute, but not on my list and doesn't really match the vibe. So I just kind of ignored her and kept material gathering around the island. I thought that this was a scorpion, but it was just a tiger beetle, so I immediately released it. I did a little bit of fishing. And then after that, I got this really lucky rock where I got six iron out of 1 rock. And then I got stung by wasps again. And then my axe broke again. Yeah. So I had to make a new axe. And then I saw this moth thing on the tree, and the fox girl watched me very, very eagerly. Turns out her name was Artie. She was so happy for me that I decided to actually go and talk to her. But she didn't really have anything interesting to say, so I decided to just abandon her and leave her on the island. Anyway, this is me really happy that I've cleared stuff, and for some reason I decided to go fishing again or sea diving again. I got a crab, which is pretty cool. I also got a whelk, and I also got a mantis shrimp. Before I once again was like, no, screw this, let's go home. I can do this there. And then I just dumped everything at the entrance, as you can see, before donating what I'd gotten there and then selling the rest of the creatures I'd already donated to Nook's Cranny because they do sell for a pretty penny. Heading to the second island, and on the second island, I saw Cherie, who I thought was so cute. I've never had a bear villager before, so I was really excited to see her. She's not on my list, but I do only have 2 Nook Miles tickets, and I would definitely rather her than like another Louis. So I threw this tree on her to sell her how much I love her, and then I fainted, which scared Wilbur, and I was pretty happy with that. I put the house all together so that she was ready to move in. I dumped all of my things at the entrance of my house, doing some organizing, and then I put some of the more important, unique stuff away in my storage. I headed back to Red's ship because I got that 5,000 bells earlier. So I thought that I would. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I bought that thing that you saw, and then I decided to show off my controller the next day for some reason. I got 10,000 bells somehow, and then I got given this weird pole thing by Hazel, and I was very surprised by that. Oh yeah, I have reactions now, by the way. Oh my goodness, this is moving so fast. I got some candy and I also saw this pink paint flooring, which I thought was pretty cute. I wish you could see what it would look like on the floor before you can buy it. But anyway, Cherie is moving in officially, which is very, very exciting. Sorry for the little pause there. I decided to chop down the trees around their houses so that they look a little bit clearer, gather some bells, and then Mabel was here. So I did a little bit of shopping, but I didn't see anything I liked. I decided to have a spontaneous ceremony for the museum because it is one of my favorite parts about the game, despite it kind of being a rabbit hole. Um, I went to Nook's Cranny once more. I don't remember why because I didn't show it. And then I looked all over this island for a third villager, and there was no villager on the island. I don't know why, but I cleared the island once again, and then I decided to head back. I dropped off all those items again because I thought it might just been a something special to that one island, so I headed back into the airport and I got on this spiral island once again. And I once again looked all around the island, and there was no villager on this island. What a waste of McMiles tickets! I couldn't even be bothered to clear the island of its resources. And I thought that this would be a good place to end the episode on that bit of a devastating note. So, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope that you're looking forward to the next one. I actually have a special plan for the next one since it will be Halloween. Something a bit different, but I hope you enjoy it. I will see you next time.